Hello and welcome back to Camp Ash. We will be finishing off the Janice route. So yeah, just as a quick recap, Miriam Moore, Trisha Hendricks, Dale Cooper are gone. Unfortunately, they were taken out by the Slasher, who apparently is haunting this camp. And Duke Tibbetts does not believe Chip and Janice about what's going on, and he's blaming it on Ernesto because, he's racist, basically. For lack of a better word, unfortunately, Duke is Duke. It doesn't matter how young Duke Tibbetts is, he is still Duke. The same old crappy person that we knew from the original Echo story is still here. But yeah, so the three of them, Chip, Janice, and Ernesto, are trying to leave, and they encounter Duke, and he's like, well, they're like, there's like somebody killing them, and we saw them. He killed Trisha and Dale, and we need to go. And Duke is like, no, I don't believe you guys, and I blame Ernesto. And yeah, so like, anyways, so yeah, they're gonna try to leave right now, but, yeah. Anyways, so without further ado, let us finish out the Janice route. I feel bad about leaving Miriam up like that. Should we try to get her down before we leave? After what he did to Dale? And Trisha? We should probably just leave. At least Duke covered her up while we were at the cabin. Now that I think about it, I don't think that we should be here any longer. I'm afraid Duke might try something at this point. Does he really believe it's me? Is he that racist? Janice and I lock eyes for a second. Yes. I hate people like that, like him. It's made my country shit, and it hasn't helped being here. It's not fair he treats people like that. He's just doing what he thinks is right. Janice. It's hard, though. Everything we hear from our parents, from the 2 radio stations that play an echo. Do you think everyone is just lying to us? Isn't that harder to believe? Isn't that what Duke is believing right now? Those aren't the same things. At least, I don't think they are. It's rude to talk about someone like they aren't there. It's rude to take jobs from hardworking Colombians. I got here with my own merit. I'm one of the top students at my university in San Salvador, and I'm on the dean's list for my senior year at Pueblo. I'm doing better than your friend did before she got hung up to dry. You motherfucker! That was maybe too far. You take that back about Miriam right now. Haven't you ever heard about not speaking ill of the dead? Haven't you ever heard of not being a total piece of shit for no reason? Enough. Argue about this later, when we're off this fucking mountain. You're telling me to just put up with it? To put up with her treating me like less than a person? Cry about it more, Beaner. You're beyond hopeless, gringo. Janice, give me the keys and get in the car. We're leaving. Ernesto snarls, stomping away from us and onto his bike. He flips us off as he gets the engine going. Fuck the both of you. His motor is revved in just a few seconds, and the Wolf is giving it just enough gas to spin on its front wheels away from us. See you two in hell. Ernesto guns the accelerator, a cloud of dirt kicking back up over Janice and I before he speeds down off the entrance and onto the mountain road. The roar of his engine dies down before either of us say anything. You know what? I'm glad that he's gone. Everything was just worse because of him. Why would you do that? He just wanted to help us. Ernesto was just gonna go with us so that we could stay together on the mountain. Don't you remember how fucked it all is? How long it took us to get here and how we needed multiple tries to go through all of it? What's the problem? Can you just drive us out of here? You're the big man. You can keep me safe, can't you, Bronson? I don't know, Janice. Haven't you noticed things aren't normal? Haven't you realized that the world's going to shit? Our friends are dying in front of us and you're here trying to prove that I'm a man enough for you? I take it you ain't. I should have stayed with Duke. He saw things much clearer than you do. What's gotten into you, Adler? She doesn't respond, instead just sitting against Duke's car on the floor. I sit down next to her, the shade of the car just covering us. What's wrong, Jan? The coyote grips her elbows, tightening into a small ball, ignoring me still. Is it all really that bad? Am I doing so bad that you're going to throw your life away? No. Janice, 3 of our friends are dead. My voice cracks, the reality of the situation catching up to me. Please, I don't want to lose you two. I love you. You don't need to die here. Janice loses her composure, throwing her arms around me and crying into my shoulder. It's not fair, Chip. It's not fair that they're all gone. I know, babe. I know. I want them back. Why did they have to die? The tears are rolling down my face now, soaking into her blouse. I don't know, but we don't have to be next. We can get out of here, okay? Janice sniffles, wiping her nose with a paw. Her eyes are red and face sullen. It's too much. I don't think that I can deal with it anymore. We don't have to. We can get out of here, get some help. Let the police take care of it. Will it be okay? Afterwards? When this is all over? I don't know. Yeah, it will be. Just give the key and we'll go, okay? Okay. Janice starts to stand on her shaky feet using the car handle to help steady herself as she gets off the ground. I hurry to my feet, offering to take her paw. She takes my paw, letting me help her. Thank you, Bronson. Janice digs through her pocket for the key and fishes it out. She doesn't give it to me, only staring at it in her paw. Is it right to leave Duke? How is he going to get out of here if we take his car? We'll be back with police. They made it clear that they don't want our help anyways, remember? The coyote trembles, inching the key closer and closer to me, but not giving it up. It doesn't feel right. Please, just give me the key. How about we call out one last time for them? If they respond, then they can get out with us. If not, then we'll be back for them. Okay. I cut my paw with both paws and shout out into the camp. Hey, Duke, we're leaving. Come on. There's no response. See? He's not coming. What's that? Janice points towards a road leading into the camp. There is a person standing in the distance, just out of focus. I can barely tell what they're wearing, the figure just standing out of view. Is that Ernesto? I don't see any red on him, do you? There isn't enough red. The person's fur is murky and washed out. I don't think so. We'd see enough of it from this distance though, right? I think so. The figure starts to head towards us at a steady pace. They heard you yelling. Is it Duke? Hey, assholes. You guys let the killer go and now you're trying to steal my car? The weasel yells from the corner of the assembly hall, coming from the camper's cabin. He has 2 wooden oars from the boathouse, 1 in each paw. Shit, it isn't Duke. Who isn't me? The weasel walks up to us. He follows our line of sight to the distance, towards the figure getting ever closer on the road. Who the fuck is that? Oh my god, it's him! It's him! The figure's colors finally break enough form on the distance, his black fur blending into the shadowy trail of the tree line. It was the bear from earlier, the one who butchered our friends in front of our eyes. Duke, that's him! He killed the others! The weasel pulls out a cigarette from his back pocket. He fumbles with the lighter for a second before using it on the new cigarette. Guess you guys weren't lying. Duke takes a long pull of the cigarette and closes his eyes, blowing the ash into the sky. We need to run now. The weasel walks to the back seat of his car and drops 2 wooden oars from the boathouse onto the ground. He takes it in both paws and brings down the paddle hard on the trunk, the head snapping off and making a jagged spear. He passes it to me with a calm palm before taking the other one and repeating the process. This should be long enough. You and I can get him, Bronson. I'll get him right through the side, and you get him on the head after, alright? It's not gonna work. I stabbed him through the neck earlier and it didn't matter. He got up and killed Dale with a machete right after. Then make sure that you get him in the face this time. This is crazy. Are you just going to kill him? The weasel grips the makeshift spear tightly, knuckles almost going white. I can't let everything go to shit just because they're dead. I won't let anyone else get hurt no matter what it takes. Duke. The bear was almost at us now. pace quickening, signature machete held at the ready. Don't do it, Tibbets! Are you going to help me or not, Bronson? I look at Janice, panic clear on her face. Don't do that. Don't care about what she thinks. Tell me what you're going to do, Bronson. The killer was at the parking lot now, less than 10 seconds away. Get over your withdrawals and man up now. I don't think... It was too late. Duke had rushed the bear, cheap wooden spear in paw. The bear doesn't react to the charge, letting the weasel get close. Duke slides in on his light feet, stabbing the bear in the ribcage with a spear. The impact sends Duke spinning back a few feet, the bear's heavy frame too much for the thin weasel to take head on. Duke! The bear's large paws struggle with the spear, dropping his machete as he tries to grab onto the wood sticking out of his body. Now, Bronson! What should I do? Help him, Chip! As much as you would think that this would be the right thing to do, I don't think that that is the right thing to do. I think it's kind of obvious that you can't really fight the guy, so... I toss the spear into the air a few inches, catching it with an upturned paw. No, you have to stab him. It isn't enough. I pull my arm back and take aim. Just kill him. I chuck the spear, aiming directly at the bear. The spear hits the unmoving target dead on, pointed edge landing directly at his chest. It bounces off, not even breaking the skin. The bear's head follows the object, bouncing off of him and onto the floor. I take my chance, sprinting over to Duke and helping the weasel up. That was our only chance and you blew it. Come on, Janice, we're leaving. We head towards the car, giving up completely on trying to fight the bear off. Get in. We're at the doors, ready to jump into the open convertible and peel out of the parking lot, until a wooden spear comes flying from behind us, crashing into the center console and directly into the engine. Shit. I look back at the stranger. The bear had taken the spear from his rib and threw it at our only escape. He bends down and grabs the machete in a single fluid motion before standing back up, straight back to attention, and starts marching directly towards us. It won't budge. Duke is trying to pull the oar free, the splintered wood lodged to his car still. There's no time to fix it. Run! We won't make it anywhere in time. The bear is too close to us. The rumble of a motorcycle engine cuts through the silence. Ernesto is turning the far corner sharply, fur color just visible in the distance. The bear turns to look at the wolf, seemingly making eye contact before turning his whole body and marching towards his new challenger. He can't be serious. Ernesto guns the engine, accelerating faster and faster towards the bear. The stranger marches ever forward directly towards the path of the motorcycle in a sick game of chicken. Machete raised into the air. Look out! Right before Ernesto makes impact into the bear's outstretched machete, the wolf turns the bike hard, sending himself tumbling into the dirt as the wolf jumps off of it, leaving the bike to skid forward in its path. It crashes directly into the bear, sending him flying into Duke's car. The mix of metal and flesh crumbles hard into Duke's car. A sickening metal screech booms out of the impact, Duke's car flipping upwards at the same moment. The three of us next to the car are thrown away from it from the impact. Ernesto offers me a steady paw to my shaky one, pulling me to my feet. Once I'm stable, Ernesto scoops Janice off the ground and away from the wreck. I stumble towards them, afraid of the worst. Is she... Janice twitches, paw going to her temples in pain. Probably just a concussion. Where's Duke? The weasel crawls on all fours towards us from the front of the car. He was closest to the front, thrown highest and furthest. You're gonna pay for my car, asshole. Duke's car is completely ruined. The rear completely smashed inward, folded halfway into itself. The body of the bear and frame of the motorcycle weighs it down in the center of the seats. The bear's frame is caved in. A sickly red splotch stains his broken bones and Duke's interior. As soon as you pay for my bike. Duke collapses into the dirt, his body twitching as he laughs hysterically into the earth. Ernesto and I join him, the pain from the impact fading for just a few seconds. Where did you learn to do something crazy like that, Wolf? I saw it in the movie once. Why don't you try it? Besides, with how he's moved before, he probably would have stabbed me with that machete if I didn't jump off. You ride your motorcycle like that normally? I have a skid out once or twice, much harder to do on the dirt though, at least on purpose like that. Why did you come back, Ernesto? The wolf takes a second to think, looking around at us awkwardly as a smile fades from his face. To tell you all the truth, I didn't. What? I took the road down straight. It went downhill for a bit until a curve, then it started to head right back uphill. I wasn't surprised when I turned around another corner and ended up right back here. So it's still happening then? How we can't even leave? Ernesto nods, sighing in the process. That's why I didn't mind crashing my bike into that cycle. We were stuck here and I wanted to make sure that he stayed down this time. It doesn't surprise me you were a coward. You were blaming me for doing it right before. But I was gonna stay. Duke spits out a glob of blood from his mouth. Thank you for helping, even if you didn't mean to. Just because you're all ignorant Higgs doesn't mean that you deserve to die. Just because you're a beaner doesn't mean that you're bad. I'm not Sonoran. Duke fishes out another cigarette and lights it, not bothering to get up from the ground. I think one of my legs is broken. I'll help you up. Duke raises a paw as I head over to him. Just let me rest here for a bit. It sounds like we're stuck anyways. He takes a deep drag of the cigarette. Why did you think that I was killing people, Weasel? Because it makes the most sense that the outsider is doing it. We're all friends. Unless one of us went crazy, we'd never do something like that. So you blamed me? Made the most sense. There's no one else up here. It sounds like the bear had been spotted here before, around the campground. Trisha found some documents about it before he got to her. So it was a setup, this whole time? Sounds like just gross negligence to me. That's what they want you to think, plausible deniability. You know, I think that I understand what's happening. You do? There's only one thing that makes sense. Don't tell me that it's what you heard your grandpa say for the love of God. Nah, this is different than Echo. For once. Something just as old though. Echo isn't the oldest city on this continent, not by a long shot. Did people really live in these mountains before either? How would I know? I'm just trying to figure out what's happening, seeing as you of all people have figured it out, apparently. It's funny that you of all people are calling me stupid, Bronson. The drugs finally melted your brain, it seems. Are you and Janice really doing all that, Nutria? Ernesto's face is sullen, sadder than seeing our friends die. And it pisses me off so much. You don't know me at all, Ernesto. You don't get to judge me or be disappointed in me. I'm just worried for you. Why? You don't know me. You don't know Janice. And... It hurts to say it. And you didn't know the others. You don't know the lives Dale or Miriam lived and went through. What we've all put up with. That's not what... And you won't get to know them. They're gone. It's all gone. It all just went to shit again. Everything we had, I can't continue, my heart pulling my throat into the ground, into the blood-soaked dirt and ash of everything left. Don't be too hard on him, Ernesto. You don't know what it's like there. Ernesto doesn't look at me. Thank you, Duke. For what? For giving Miriam some kind of dignity, not just leaving her like that. It was the least that I could do for one of my oldest friends. I'm afraid that we might have to leave her like that after what happened at the cabin. No one deserves to be left like that. The weasel chokes on the cigarette smoke for a few seconds. Except maybe that piece of shit bear. Look out! A makeshift spear erupts from Duke's head as a weasel looks up, pinning his skull in an awkward position, raised into the air as the rest digs into the ground. His brain splatters in front of him, skull cracked and leaking. The bear, even with his body badly mangled, sits on top of the wreckage, motorcycle thrown to the side. The killer pulls himself through the wreckage, body flopping onto the dirt, his legs and arms snap back into place, the open wounds not only shrugged off, but closing in on itself like they weren't there as his bones snap back into place. Duke! The weasel doesn't respond, body limp and still. Janice wriggles out of Ernesto's arms, falling to the floor as she stumbles over to the weasel's body. Not you too! I run up to Janice and start pulling her by her wrist away from the scene. No! She doesn't resist this time. The two of us run back towards the camper cabins, Ernesto following behind us. It's unbearably hot now, the full weight of the day and summer beating down on us from overhead. Everything is sore again, and I can't tell if it's from the withdrawals or being beaten and bruised as we run for our lives. I've almost lost all my friends today, all of the people closest to me in the world. It's just been one day. It's too much for me to handle. Janice has fully succumbed to the horror by now. She's laying down on the grass in the sun, face down and arms on her forehead. Ernesto is pacing back and forth. His paws are rubbing over his eyes over and over again, holding his brain together over the seriousness of the situation. There's nowhere else to go, and nowhere to run. Should we get Miriam's key? I don't want to dig through her pockets, but we might have to. I should be able to do it. What if you do all of that and the road just leads back up here? I'm not letting either of you go through that for no reason. We can't just do nothing. We can't just sit here and die. Janice doesn't stir from her near comatose position. We should get away from the camp. Get out into the mountain. It'll be easier to hide like that. I don't know how to navigate or get back. Would starving to death out in the forest be any better than dying here? We can stay by the lake or the river. We should get out of here, away from all of these bodies. Is it freaking you out that much? It's going to attract feral predators after a while. Fuck, I didn't think about that. I've never had to deal with wild animals like this. When I would hunt with my family, we had guns. It was a possibility, but not one that we couldn't defend ourselves from. We don't have anything out here. We can take a boat, go out to the other side of the lake. There's probably some other structures out there that we can use. I can build a fire pretty well. Should we take some bedrolls or sleeping bags if we need to stay the night out there? I don't think that we should go inside of a building. There's too many places for him to hide and nothing slows him down. We can just leave now. Just keep ahead of him. He doesn't seem to be very fast at least. Janice manages to eke out a muffled from her prone position. Oh, what is it, Jan? We need some water. We aren't going to make it very long without it. We can last a few days without food if we have to. My stomach grumbles after being reminded that we haven't ate in a half a day. But the water is too important. I can catch us some fish, and we can eat over a fire somewhere away from here. There's some fishing rods in the storage shed. I wriggle my paws at the wolf, emphasizing the webbing between them. As long as you don't mind tooth or claw marks, I can catch them, free pod. Ernesto smiles wide and pats me on the shoulders. Sounds like a plan then. Janice manages to get to her feet, body shaking. She was down for more than just the weight of the day. The water. Don't forget about the water. We can boil the lake water. Should be safe to drink after cooling down. I think that there's a metal bucket by the boathouse. Should be clean enough after a boil and a wash. Janice stands next to me and puts her arms around my shoulder. Help me over to the boathouse, Chip? Sure, I don't mind. I can carry you if you want. It's not a problem for me. We might be a bit slower if Chip does it. I want Chip to. She pauses for a second. In case this is the last time that he gets to hold me. You shouldn't talk like that, Jan. She holds onto me tighter. We head off towards the boathouse, passing by the mess hall first. It's slow going with Janice on my shoulder. I have to nearly carry her whole weight, the coyote weak and tired from everything going on today. I try my best not to complain about how weak and tired I am. I didn't complain a few days ago when we buried him. I didn't complain when I dropped her off and walked back to my house. And I won't start now. Everything is still so sore and broken. Now things are broken with more than just me. Our lives are broken. Our friends' lives are gone. What will I even tell everyone when we make it back? Would the cops even believe us that a killer bear was going around gutting everyone? Do I even believe it? Do I want to believe it? We make it to the boathouse without incident. The shade and closeness to the water is refreshing and cold. I'm gonna put you down now, babe, so me and Ernesto can get ready to head out, okay? That's fine. You won't leave me here, right? She holds my paw as I help her to the ground, letting her sit at the edge of the dock over the water. I would die before I left you, Adler. She responds with a soft kiss across my lips. She's as sweet as always. I love you. I love you too. Ernesto and I start our escape plan. I find the bucket behind a few supply crates while the wolf fetches the oars Duke didn't raid. Do we need 4? There's only 3 of us. We're not opening for business and they can kiss my ass and bitch all they want about missing supplies. Just in case we lose one, we have another one too. Let's get the show on the road then. I untie the biggest canoe from the dock and debate taking the couple of life jackets from the wall. I grab 2 life jackets from the others and throw them into the boat. I get into the boat first, my legs more stable on the water. Ernesto is next, sitting at the far end of the paddle boat to even out its weight. Janice kneels down at the edge of the dock and hangs her legs over. I take her paw to help her in, Ernesto doing his best to keep everything level. Do you know how to steer a boat? Well enough, I think. Okay, stay in the back then. I'll get us going up front. Ernesto and I take an oar each. I push off the dock. One good push is all. I need to get us out into the open water of the lake and away from the boathouse. Should I help? Save your strength for now. It isn't that far. Before we get too far out, the both of you should put on your life jackets. If we go over, I can't save the both of you at the same time in the lake. I know how to swim. Have you ever swum that far before? No. Then you don't know how to swim. Ernesto and I find our stride in paddling after a few minutes, the dock trailing further and further behind us as we pick up speed and smoothness away from the shoreline. It's hot even out on the water. The sun feels like it's reflecting back onto us, cooking us slowly on the bobbing surface. I want to suggest staying out here, somewhere the bear can't sneak up on us, but the daylight is too strong and we need a way to make clean water first too. Should we have left earlier? Out like this on the lake? There wasn't a reason to, until when we did. Do you think that the others would have been alive if we didn't? Trisha and Duke? I don't think I can say. I don't think I want to think about it. Did we get them killed? Is he following just us? We can't know that. Why would he be doing that? He's just someone who used to work here, right? He's some kind of spirit, right? A devil or a ghost sent back to hurt us. If you believe those rumors, he could just be some psycho living up here. But he got up after you stabbed him in the throat. He took a whole motorcycle to his front and it looked like he was fine. He wasn't. What do you mean? You saw it too, right? How he was hurt. There was blood, and he had bones sticking out of him. His whole front was caved into Duke's car even. I thought I did, but he looked fine after getting up. After killing Duke. Maybe he's a demon. What do you even do about that if he is? How does that change what's going on? We're trapped up here and it doesn't make any sense. Maybe he's doing it, keeping us all here. If it's an evil spirit. God help us. Maybe we have to help ourselves, find a way to kill him, to end this so that we can escape. Is that even possible? What else can we do? There's a whole bus of people on the way up here. If they go missing or don't make it, the police will find out right away. Should we have left them there? To just get murdered while we run and hide? Duke's body is there, next to his car. They won't make it far past Miriam either. Is that the best that we can do for them? Just let them act as a warning sign? I don't know what else to do, Jan. My tongue gets stuck in my throat as I try to find my words. I'm just trying to keep you safe. I want you to live. We need to live. Do we deserve it? I know that I don't. I don't know what the both of you have got up to before this, and I don't care right now. But I deserve to live. I deserve to see my friends and family again. They're counting on me to come back to make something of myself, and I fully intend on doing it. My friends are coming back though. It's just us left. Well, don't drag me down to hell with you. Why do you think that we're going to hell? Because you keep saying that you deserve it, like you two did something bad. What was it? Kill a guy? This can't keep going on. We can't let him know. If the three of us make it out of this alive and he tells even a single person... Stop saying stupid shit. That's not what Janice meant. I'm just worried that you two are going to kill yourselves or let yourselves die. I'll help you, but I'm not going to give up and be mincemeat for either of you. Then how do we know that we can trust you? You already left the both of us before. You don't even want to be here, and things have only gotten worse since then. I'm sorry. We shouldn't be fighting anymore. I shouldn't have said anything that wasn't fair of me. Ernesto stops paddling. No more ignoring things, no more beating around the bush. Tell me why you're giving up, or I'm jumping off the site and swimming the rest of the way myself. I'm not risking my life for people who don't want to be alive. I need to know the truth. It's just a lot. We kicked the meth and it's weighing me and Janice down. All of our friends just died. It's great that you're here with us, Ernesto, but everyone that we were close with is gone. You did not lose everyone you know. You have to know more people than that. We did, but they're gone too. They got drafted and they're dead. Everyone is dead. A whole generation wiped out of Echo except for me and Chip. Then you two need to live. You need to get back there and see everything through. I'm scared though. It's too much. All of it is too much. It can't all be death. You are more than just death. It's what it feels like though. It's what makes it hard to keep going. It's not just why we started using, but it's why we kept doing that. To not feel the sadness. But stopping is hard. Having this happen is hard. Why come up here then? Why you're in the middle of withdrawals then? Why make it harder on yourselves? We didn't have a choice. Why not? He can't know the truth. The money. We ran out, spending the last of everything that we had for meth. So you want more meth? No, we dumped it all. We realized that we were over the edge. Chip. And we're restarting now, fixing our mistakes, making our lives better for ourselves. That's why it's so easy to give up. We have nothing. No one but each other anymore. Fine, both of you aren't allowed to quit anymore. If you're doing this, you're doing it right. Ernesto? Yeah? Thank you for not giving up on us. The wolf starts to paddle again. I join him, finding our rhythm. With everything that's going on with you two, it means a lot to tell me the truth, no matter how hard it was. My brain pounds against itself. It feels like it wants to break out and actually tell Ernesto what really happened. But I won't betray Janice like that, like she wouldn't with me. Or we'd both be in jail for the rest of our lives. The three of us make it to the far side of the lake, eventually finding a suitable shoreline to rest on. Run it aground, head onto the sand. Is that safe? Safer than risking the boat floating away with nothing to tie it onto. We paddle straight onto the beach, the boat hitting the sand hard. We take our supplies out, the other two leaving their life vests into the boat. Grab the docking rope with me, and we'll drag it forward onto the beach. The tide doesn't change enough like an ocean for that, does it? So it's harder for the bear to see. Ernesto and I drag the boat away from the water as far as we can. Janice makes sure the two of us don't scrape a hole in the bottom of the boat from the larger rocks on the shoreline. I'm going to look for firewood and get some warmth going. The bear might see the smoke, but we're so far away that it should be safe. Should we stay here then, after we light it? Probably not. We should be fine for a few hours, but if he saw us leave the boathouse, he might already be after us. Should we hike away from the water then, right now? No, we need the food and water right now. It would be harder for me to catch fish in the river too. They're more abundant here and I can swim around more freely. It's too hot right now. We need to eat and drink some clean water. Then we can worry about leaving. Maybe we should hike during the night. It's more dangerous usually because of feral predators or snakes, but they're less of a concern than hiking without any supplies, especially with how hot it is out today. I didn't think about that, but you're probably right, Otter. Well, I'll still get a fire going for right now. I'll find some branches to use as a spear for the fish. Chip can skewer them on it after he catches them. Then I'll use the spear to cook them over the fire with. I'll get catching. I shimmy out of my shorts, leaving them near our base. You're not going stripped naked, are you? If it was just me and Janice, probably. It helps I'm swimming faster. There's no way to change into dry clothes out here either. I don't want to be stuck hiking all night long while I'm soaking wet. Well, don't let me stop you from taking everything off. Ernesto turns around, walking through the bushes as he goes off to gather firewood. Idiot. Janice walks up to me, kissing me on the cheek and rubbing my arm a few times. Be safe, Chip. I will be. I'm more afraid with you guys up here, to be honest. That bear can get me in the water. Janice pulls back a bit, holding each one of my paws with one of hers, our arms slightly outstretched between us. I know. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to scare you. Janice kisses me. It's passionate and deep. My underwear starts to stir a bit, emotions running high in the messiness of it all. She looks down and at my underwear and smiles when she notices the obvious tent, her grin wide with deviousness. I love what I do to you, Bronson. I love it too. Later, though, as soon as we're safe, as soon as we're out of here. Of course. Now hurry up. I'm starting to get pretty hungry. She heads off into the bushes after Ernesto, leaving me there half hard and wanting more. I head into the water. It's cold and refreshing on my skin. It feels like the first time that I've rested in so long. My dive downwards is quick, the sun finally getting off of my back as I go deeper and deeper into the water. I'm glad that I went swimming earlier with Dale. It's always easier going into new water with someone. With him of all people too. I give myself time to mourn under the waves, where no one can see me cry. Ernesto and Janice are back by the time that I'm back with the third batch of fish. By the time that I had caught the first set of fish, Janice had set up a line of skewers for me. Our dinner sits hooked onto the spears, cooking over the open flame. Do we need any more? Get some for later. We can have dinner without having to make you go into it at night. One last trip. My mind has mellowed out by now, quite after all the madness. It feels like I've reverted back to the old ways of my people. I've heard gathering food for sustenance tends to do that to people, especially when it highly correlates with a species' original hunting methods. Trisha once said that it helps mellow out junkies too. I guess I'm both of those right now. By the time that I come to, I find myself at the bottom of the lake. It doesn't take much effort to keep myself up below the waves, no more than just normal walking does. Nothing can hurt me here, and I like that peace. The calm. But it just makes me start thinking again about how far away I am from everything up above. How far away I am from that bear. From my friends being gone. But it's selfish to wait down here. It's selfish to leave the others in danger while I stay safe under the waves. If it wasn't someone that I loved so much, still up there. If it wasn't Janice, I don't think that I'd be back. I just keep to myself. I would still be selfish. I would be cruel and mean, but it would be me. I think that's who I am deep down. Only afraid of losing my girl. There's not much else to lose anymore, nothing except for myself. But I don't know how much more of me there is left to lose. I'm back at the campfire, the sun's starting to set. The final batch of fish are cooking over the flames. We're taking bites around the skewers of the fish that I caught earlier. I hope that it wasn't too hard for you to fish down there, Nutria. It wasn't a problem at all. The lake is full of fish, and I don't think that there's usually predators like me down there with them. They were easy to pick off. That's what you always say. I think you just like to show off. Oh, you like it though. I do like the fresh fish, yeah. It's much better than the frozen stuff that we get at the diner. Maybe I should drop off a fresh catch every day in the morning. It could be a daily special. I'd rather not eat the radioactive fish though, thanks. You two sound like an old married couple. You've been together a while, yeah? Since high school, sophomore year. Which one is that? Since we were both about 15. It's been 4 years now. We just had a lovely anniversary. Soon it'll be 5 years. Have you two been with anyone else? I have. A few boys in middle school. One in high school before Chip. Nothing more than some kisses in middle school. There was an otter from Peyton, the next town over from Echo. I was forced to date by my father. That didn't go over too well. Your dad make you date someone? Mormon stuff. I can't live my own life without making a ton of babies first. Well, she was kind of a tramp, so thankfully it didn't work out. That's not a nice thing to say about someone that you barely know. And why do you think that she was a tramp? Janice rests her head on my shoulder. Because she stole you from me. I didn't have a choice. Well, you made the right one in the end. Dumping her eventually, of course. What about you, Ernesto? Have you dated before? Plenty of girls over in San Salvador. That's surprising. A few women in Pueblo too. Not a lot of time for that sort of stuff during my previous year, but some time for fun on the side at least. Ugh, gross. I don't want to hear about it. You don't know the half of it. I'm walking away now. Janice walks off, headed to the shoreline, just out of view. God, I can go for a nap now. The fish were really good like that, and more filling than normal. That's what happens when you get fresh and clean food. Couldn't get any fresher than this, either. Ernesto rubs his stomach a few times, looking directly at me. You really love her, huh? Janice, of course. I'd do anything for her. Back at the gas station, were you just messing with me then? I don't know what you mean. The hanky in my back pocket, you acted like you know what it meant. Like you wanted what it meant. I have no idea what it means. It didn't make sense to mean anything. It was just weird, so I looked at it funny. Well, knowing that would have helped a lot of confusion over the last few days. Oh yeah? Yeah. It would have been fun though. I don't think that I know what he means still. There was still a bit of fun though, with your friend Dale. I think that I know what he means now. I never realized he was, like that. Really? I thought you guys were, me and Dale? You and Dale. I don't think that I could ever do something like that. Oh my god. Not in this route. Maybe if he was a girl, though. Have you thought about that before? If he was a girl? Maybe. Ernesto smiles wide. That's all that I need to know. I hold back a sniffle, a couple of tears escaping my eyes. I don't know what I'm gonna do without him. He was my best friend. We hang out all the time. I've known him my whole life. Ernesto scoots closer to me, letting me lean on him. The others were my friends, of course. I played sports with Duke in high school even, but they weren't the same as Dale. I don't know if I'll be okay after this. What about for Janice? I'll have to be okay for her, but I don't know if I can be okay over Dale. He was special to me. Otter. Ernesto rubs my back a few times. The touch is nice and not entirely unwelcome. I didn't know him long, but he was a good guy. Really honest, really caring. That helped me a lot. How he was, how much he gave for me to be happy sometimes. Then you need to go on. You need to be happy for him. Yeah, I guess. I do have to. For Dale. The sound of crunching leaves on the dry ground catches my attention. Ernesto and I turn, Janice standing there, staring at us awkwardly. Ugh, I was hoping you'd be finished being perverts. We weren't doing anything like that. I was just helping him talk about Dale. Oh. Janice sits down next to us, bringing her knees to her chest. I didn't realize. I'm sorry. I didn't think about how everything was affecting you, babe. It's okay. I know you weren't being mean about any of it. I'm going to miss him too. We spent a lot of time together, not just at the diner, but growing up as well. He was special, wasn't he? Yeah, really special. Come on, we should get ready to leave. Are we hiking or something else? I don't think that I've had enough left in me to hike tonight. Especially as far as we should. Maybe we should go back for some lights or a canteen or something tomorrow in the morning, when it's harder for him to sneak up on us. What do we do for tonight then? Let's sleep on the lake on the boat. I think that there's just enough room, especially if me and Jan sleep back to back. That might just work. There's just enough room for us. You guys wear your life jackets in case you fall in during the night. Please? At this rate, we might as well. Let's gather everything that we'll need in case that we can't go back to the camp for supplies. We put everything into the boat ready to push out into the empty blackness of the night. The lake is still, thankfully. It doesn't take much padding to get out into what I think is a center. It's too dim out here to really tell though. Janice and I sit back to back, balancing each other out onto the surface. Ernesto is at the back of the boat. Should we sleep in shifts, in case anything comes up? I don't think so. We're far enough away that nothing should sneak up on us. There's no water snakes or feral crocodiles here, right? I don't know about water snakes, but there isn't any large feral predators out here, just the fish eating each other. Should we be concerned about the water snakes? Even if there are here, they wouldn't swim up to a boat. I didn't see any when I got fish earlier. Or when I went exploring with Dale. If the water snakes were a problem, they wouldn't have a summer camp open here with free-for-all swimming. They opened it with serial killer stalking the woods. Alleged serial killer ghost stalking the woods. I guess it didn't open yet, and we did our jobs, keeping people safe. Other people, at least. I don't think that I feel safe again. We'll get out of this. We'll get out of here. Even after that, do you think that things can be normal again? Is there anything that will be normal again? I think we can move on from this. To heal, even if it will take time. We don't talk for a long time after that, choosing to remain quiet as the night really takes its full strength. The air is still hot, still muggy and uncomfortable, even on the lake's surface. The stars feel dim, like they're hiding, like they don't want to guide us anywhere out of here, like we're going to be stuck forever. I fall asleep against Janice for the second night in a row. Hey, is anyone out there? The sound of someone yelling far off wakes me up. Red and blue lights flicker off in the distance, towards the direction of the camp. We've drifted much closer to the shore than where we fell asleep at. Is there someone out on the boat? Their voice is muffled, almost mechanical. Help us here. We have ambulances waiting. It's from a megaphone. There were police on the dock, shouting down if we need any assistance. Janice, wake up! I turn to shake Janice awake, the coyote still warm against my back. Huh? What's happening? Ernesto starts to stir, the wolf still sitting at the far end of the boat. His fur is bristled in the moist air. There's cops here. They're gonna help us. What? Is it over? We look towards the camp, the lights of the sun only starting to peek over the far mountain. Police squad cars and ambulances are visible just over the dark lake. Yeah, we can make it. We're getting out of here. Grab an oar and start paddling. We each grab a paddle and start to head towards the dock. We're here! I shouted out into the lake, unsure if they can hear me or not. Just keep paddling. We'll be there in a bit anyways. Save your energy. We'll be at the dock soon. More police officers arrive at the dock, an ambulance pulling up behind them. We're almost there. Just a couple of more minutes. Help is here. Just keep heading towards us. The voice on the megaphone is clearer, the boat much closer to the pier now. We're gonna make it. We're flipped suddenly, the whole world turning upside down in almost an instant. I hold my breath on instinct. The force of the water hitting my head still stuns me for a few seconds. The water is dark, light only filtering a few feet down from the early morning sun. Janice is treading water near the top, her life jacket keeping her afloat. Ernesto isn't anywhere on the surface, so I look down into the depths for him. I catch Left's glimpse of his paw being dragged down into the darkness. My legs kick off after him. A moment later, Janice already safe at the surface. My outstretched paw grabs onto his through the void, and I shift my body to kick up, bringing him to the surface. His grip is slack against me. I pull him into the light, where I can see the bear clinging onto his back. Ernesto's head is gone, a bloody stump gushing blood from the wound. The bear looks at me with his machete still in his paw. He grins through the disfigured mess of tissue on his face, showing emotion for the first time. I'm at the surface a moment later, leaving Ernesto's body to sink to the bottom of the lake. What happened? Where's Ernesto? I swim over to her in a few strokes. Hold on to my back. We're getting out of here. Why? What's going on? Janice, please. Tell me what's... The bear surfaces from the lake, treading water just a few feet from us. I'm going. She clings onto my back, hooking her arms around my neck so that she can hold onto me. My arms and legs are going faster than they'd ever have before, the distance to the pier shrinking more and more as I speed through the surface of the lake. Even with Janice on my back, the swim is easy, my stamina completely ignored by the burst of adrenaline coursing through me. One arm over the other, swimming ever faster and closer. My lungs start to burn, breath shaken from my body as we rocket into the surface. Help us, please! I barely have time to stop myself upon making it to the pier, a police officer holding his paw down to lift Janice out of the water. Get her up, hurry! Janice is pulled from my back in a few seconds, the man strong enough to lift her with ease. My paw reaches out to grab the edge of the pier and pull myself up. When I'm yanked from underneath the surface back towards the water, it catches me by surprise, my body not able to get a full breath into my strained lungs as I'm dragged to the sandy lake bed in a few seconds. My vision starts to swirl and fade around me. The bear has my leg in his paw. He's smiling at me. How did he catch up to me? Just another slut, ready for the slaughter. His lips move under the water, but sound doesn't reach my ears. It's coming from within me, within my own head. You all deserve what happened to all of you, after everything you did here. How was he talking to me in my mind? How was this bear in my brain? But it's a familiar voice, one that I've heard all along. The voice that sounds like a radio static screeching at me at the back of my skull. You're going to drown down here, just a few feet from the surface. I'll never let you go. I believe him. I knew he meant what he said. But I'm not going to give up. His grip is too strong to shake, too much to kick out of. My claws go for his throat, ready to tear at it if I have to. They can't pierce his thick flesh, instead slipping uselessly off of his skin like it was made of tan leather. Is that all you have? Where is your rage, your anger? Spots begin to form at the edges of my vision, growing ever closer. My paw goes to the sand below, trying to find a discarded pole or hook or rock or anything to save me. Just give up. No one is coming for you. No one will ever remember you. You'll die, afraid and alone, like you deserve. Something warm to the touch grazes against my paw. I cling to it, bringing it in front of my face. It's a small amulet with its string still attached, getting warmer and warmer in my paws. The bear sees it and screams underwater, a gulp of oxygen escaping his mouth as he lets go of me. There is a burning sensation, so deep, so primal in my grip. I bring it up to the bear, his eyes going wide as he brings his paws up to his face to shield himself from it. He swims away from me, back into the darkness where the light doesn't shine, back into the bottom of the lake. I drop the amulet, the pain too much to hold on to, and float back to the surface just as everything starts to fade. My head breaches a few seconds later, a rough cough expelling water from my lungs as I do. I'm able to pull myself up onto the dock where Janice is waiting for me. Where's Ernesto? I turn away from her, headed towards the waiting officers and ambulances instead of letting her know. At least for now. Paramedics are wheeling out stretchers with filled body bags from up the hill back downwards. A helicopter flies overhead, landing down in the field where Miriam's body is at. Are you all right? What happened? The director is there, with a couple of police officers walking up from behind him, coming to the pier with me and Janice. My car broke down, then we couldn't get back up here. The counselor bus called the police and... Ernesto just had to make it a little longer. I'm sorry. We didn't know it was like... this. I'm so sorry. Did you know about him? About the camp slasher? The director looks away from me, unable to look at me in the eyes. I'm sorry. So that was, I guess, the Janice route. I wouldn't call it the best route, but like, I mean, it is the only route, or the only real route where Janice lives. But yeah. As with most or as with the original Echo story, the routes end in a, was it a good ending? Was it a bad ending? Was it a like, at least you lived ending? I kind of feel like it was an at least you lived type of ending. But yeah, like you could feel the slasher movie inspiration dripping from what I just read and what you just heard, I guess. Like this was literally just like Friday the 13th, where it's like Jason Voorhees, who's, you know, like the corpse in the lake that, you know, rises up and, you know, starts killing the campers who are having intimate moments and doing things that they shouldn't. But yeah. I did enjoy it though. It was fun to read. It was actually not what I had originally envisioned that this visual novel was going to be. But thinking about it now, it kind of works in a way. That this is how the visual novel, how best to put it, how it presents what it wanted to present. Like, again, this is just a fan story. It's not like any way, shape, or form like the prequel to Echo or anything like that. Like, no. It just gives like a what if story for like, what if these characters decided to go to this camp that apparently has some like spooky stuff there. And considering that it is established in Echo and in Arches, and even in the, unfortunately, no more canon, the Smoke Room, that technically in this world of Echo, there is spooky stuff like this. So, like, yeah, you know? There is stuff like this going on all over this world, so... But maybe not exactly like this, but there is weird things going on in the world of Echo. And yes, I do agree, please make a Leo plush. But also a Carl plush. I want a Carl plush. Oh, look at them. Now, as you can see, we have Chip and Janice together. And as you most likely have guessed by now, as the story progresses, this whole diner scene will eventually change. So you will eventually see Trisha Hendricks here as well. When I start reading hers, you'll see Dale as well when I start reading his. I think right now those are the only two that have been finished alongside, you know, Janice's route. And I think Duke, Miriam, and Ernesto are the next to be finished. And I think if I read it correctly, or if I understood it correctly, by the end of the year, you might be able to see that, or just like a few months afterwards. But yeah. Anyways, I don't know how much the routes differ between characters. I hope that they differ a little bit. Because, like, even though I did it for Echo, I hate having to reread the same thing over and over and over and over for each character for, like, visual novels. But I will do it either way. If it ends up being the same thing for Trisha, if it ends up being the same thing for Dale, then I'm still gonna read it, you know, whatever. Anyways, so there you have it. That was Janice's route. What did you think? Write it down in the comments, and thank you all for watching / listening. If you would like to play Camp Ash yourself and do all the other routes yourself, or do it differently, you can do that by going down into the link in the description, which would have a direct link for the itch.io page where you can download and play the game yourself. There is no form of support because this is an Echo fan story, and I guess there are rules and stipulations when you make a fan story that, you know, you don't want to make, or yeah, you don't want to make money off of somebody else's work, even though this is your own technically original work. But like, yeah, I mean, you could set up a donation thing for the person specific, the writer, but like, yeah, anyways, if you would like to support the channel, you could become a channel member, which gives you earlier access to these videos as they're being scheduled, and it does support me, and, you know, it tells me that, like, hey, I like your videos, here's some money on a monthly basis. But yeah, also you could support through Ko-fi. That's like a one-time thing, unless you want to do it monthly. And I do have a throne in case you feel so inclined, and if you have some expendable income lying around. That's not necessary or anything, you know. Anyways, so yeah, I guess that's it for now, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.